So, apparently you all want to know my opinion about Trump versus Zelensky. Eli, we need to hear your roars in this time of stupidity. Do you really need to hear my roars? I think we all know what's going on here. I think we can all follow the bouncing ball. Do I really need to narrate what is happening with the ball as it bounces? I think we can just watch the television show and go, look at that very stupid ball bounce. Oh my golly. We're just in the worst timeline. We're in the worst timeline. We need to figure out if any of you know Deadpool. If any of you know Deadpool, you need to ask him for that little timeline chopper device. So we can just chop this timeline off at the bud, and the rest of reality can get on to doing whatever they're doing. So yeah, again, I've gotten so many comments. Eli, talk about Zelensky and like, man, we all saw it. I think it's a Rorschach test. What do I think it is? It's a Rorschach test. You take a look at that 10 minutes of video footage, and then we learn more about you than anything else when you say what your criticism is. That was just a hell of a thing to watch. It kind of reminds me of the whole Trump-Biden debate, right? You know, I heard about the Trump-Biden debate from The Daily Show, and they did some clips. And I was like, wow, those clips are horrible. But it's The Daily Show, it's clips. I'll go and do my duty, and I'll watch the actual debate. And then I got like an hour and 20 minutes through the debate. And I just couldn't do it anymore because it didn't even make a damn bit of sense. Oh my God. The one thing that I will give Trump on that particular debate is at least he was alive. You know, we never had that before. We never had one contender being alive and the sitting president being dead and them doing a debate. So I hadn't seen that. But anyways, watched the Biden debate, and that was just, wow. That should have been the only question the media should have ever asked Kamala Harris, as far as the last election is concerned, is, Dear Vice President Harris, when did you realize that Biden was unfit for office? That should be the only damn question. Fuck housing policy, screw military policy, screw all that. They should have just asked her point blank, when did you know he was unfit for office? But of course, we could not get that. Anyways, that's what we got out of the Biden debate. And so we got this whole thing with Zelensky and Trump. And, it's Trump. It's Trump. I mean, you're expecting to be Trump. Oh, you're expecting to be Trump, right? It's modern world. Trump's going to do what Trump's going to do. Yeah, wasn't expecting that. Wasn't expecting that. They just sat there and berated the ever-loving shit out of Zelensky, literally stated that Putin is serious about peace, and that Zelensky is the warmonger, and that Putin is the democratically elected president, and Zelensky is the dictator. And then basically, like, Zelensky is sitting there and saying, look, we had agreements. We had treaties before that Russia would not attack Ukraine. And they violated those treaties, right? They violated what they said. And so basically, he just said, like, if we do a peace treaty now, and the United States is not going to militarily back them, so they don't have defense, what is to keep Russia from basically re-gearing up, rearming, and just attacking them a year from now? And literally Trump was like, well, what was it? Because one of the reporters came in and asked that question. It's like, well, since Russia violated these treaties before, how do you know that they won't violate them again? And Trump literally said, well, we don't know. Well, a bomb could land on this building right now and we'd all die. We have no guarantee that a bomb isn't going to land on this building. Does that mean you're not going to do a peace treaty? It's like, well, yeah, I mean, if your country is being attacked, if you're at existential risk, your people are being slaughtered, your women are being raped, your cities are being destroyed by this psychotic bastard in the country right beside you, and you're told by the United States, well, you should just have a peace treaty to stop the fighting that these other people started, with the idea, with the understanding that at any time, Russia might start military aggression again, and at least now Ukraine's on war footing. What happens when they stop the war and the people go home and they start doing whatever they do? Again, Russia was stopped by supreme incompetence. I mean, I would imagine they would learn from their failures. I'd imagine, who knows, it's a weird timeline. I do not understand this timeline, so I could be incorrect there. But it seems like they would learn from their failures. They might actually buy some good tires this time. You know, if you're going to have like modern tanks, fifth generation fighters, maybe buy some decent tires. Bridgestone. Bridgestone is a good tire when you're trying to destroy a civilization. Anyways, maybe they'll actually buy some Bridgestone tires next time. And they'll be able to march on Kiev. And so, but the weird thing about all of this is, again, like the MAGA media, the right-wing media, is now portraying Zelensky as the dictator. I saw the meme where, like Elon Musk shared this horse shit. Oh, ha, 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 right? There's the trolley problem. So the trolley has already run over all these Ukrainian civilians. And then it's about to run over even more Ukrainian civilians. And then Zelensky says, well, if we don't have an agreement on, them stopping, illegally binding, whatever, binding agreement, well, we can't stop the trolley. Because Elon Musk is a fucking dipshit. He's the richest, stupidest motherfucker on this goddamn planet. Anyways, again, richest man in the world is basically going to lead to the slaughter, the death of how many poor people? USAID. Nothing says class, you little fucking Nazi son of a bitch, like destroying USAID. Yep, you take your $400 billion and make sure the poorest in the world starve to fucking death so that you can get more tax breaks. Because remember, killing USAID, killing all this stuff the federal government is doing, right? That's not going to build houses in the United States. That's not going to make sure that the hungry children in the United States are fed. No, all of that is going to go so that he can get more tax breaks. Anyways. But yeah, so you have Vance browbeating Zelensky. You have Trump doing what Trump does. And again, I think that's the interesting thing with Trump and all these people anymore, right? It's the false idea of what an alpha male looks like, right? The interesting thing to watch about Trump anymore is he always tries to portray strength, but he portrays strength the way a 9-year-old little boy thinks strength is portrayed. And he does it again and again and again. And the problem is, as an American citizen, is it's gonna bite us in the ass. Because here's the thing, right? Back then I talked about this. I talk about things. And again, it's psychohistory. Selden. Foundation series. Isaac Asimov's Foundation series. Read the book. Don't watch the show, read the book. Anyways, the idea is with psychohistory is you can understand the flow of societies, not necessarily the individual decisions of individual people. And again, if you follow me for any length of time, you knew in 2019, 2020, I was giving Louis Rossmann a lot of shit because he was going to go and he was going to rent this fancy new facility in New York City, right? And I was like, wow, that's brave. We all know a Black Swan event is coming, and the fact that he's willing to sign those kind of leases is really impressive. He's either really smart or really dumb. We're going to find out what happens. It is curious. He now has a store in Austin, Texas. But anyways, right? Anyways, and I said, right, it's been a decade. It's been a decade since our last Black Swan event. We know the Black Swan event is going to come. Did I know it was COVID? No, I didn't know it was COVID because that's the thing about Black Swans. You don't know what it's going to be. You just know it's going to be bad, right? We had the housing crisis. We had 9/11. We had the Iraq War before that. That's the thing. We had the oil crisis. Every 10 to 15 years is a Black Swan event where basically the spaghetti monster comes in and says, this game's boring, and flips the damn table over, right? Anyways, I talked about COVID. I talked about the COVID vaccine before, where it's like everybody's got to get the COVID vaccine, and that's going to finish. And I said no. I said that was stupid because we know how vaccines work. One, we know not everybody's going to take the vaccine. Two, once people start taking the vaccine, the efficacy is going to be whatever the fuck it's going to be. And again, I was like, oh, the vaccine will be better. make things better, but it's not going to solve the problem. And again, I talked about this stuff. And again, it is. And it's not about being smart or anything else. It's just fucking watching the world. Anyways, why I'm saying this is, again, with Trump, what we see is an old fucking man, right? Most likely having a mainline testosterone just so he can wake up in the morning. Every single day is trying to be the big boy, right? Again, look at him. Look at him. He looks like a fucking 9-year-old boy in an 80-year-old's body pretending to be an alpha male. And so we see what's happened with Zelensky. We've seen him talk about using military force against Greenland. We've seen him talk about using military force against Panama. We've seen him talk about sending US troops into Gaza. Fudge. No. Anyways, right? We see him destroying the foundations of the federal government. Again, as I'm doing this video, apparently he's signing in new tariffs. Right? So there's the 25% tariffs are going back in against Canada. 25% tariffs are going back in against Mexico. 20% tariffs against China. Because he's the big man. That's what big men do. Here's the problem. He's dealing with humans. And I'm going to tell you something about humans. I know you're an American. And you may not grasp this inherently, but I'm going to tell you it's true. A lot of people don't like arrogant pieces of shit demanding that they get on their knees and slobber at their fucking ring, right? Just because Trump bends fucking over so that Putin can do whatever he wants with his bunghole doesn't mean the rest of the world is so appreciative of it. And the issue is, when you do this big man act in a country that is incredibly vulnerable. Again, I've talked about this for a long time. Our country is a wee bit screwed. The foundations of our society have been mined for the past 20 years by our corporations and by our government in order to plaster over the destruction that's occurred. And basically, we have a bit of a house of cards. I mean, that's just how it is. Again, so much of the quote-unquote wealth we have in our country is the stock market. And let's just say the stock market is only slightly less stupid than cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency still beats the stock market, but it's like, ooh, it's by a hair, right? Again, if you look at the wealth of our country, so many people are invested in the stock market, and it's just paper. It's just paper. It goes up, it goes down, it wipes out, there's nothing there. Again, right? You know, NVIDIA being a $3 trillion company or whatever, right? If something happens to NVIDIA, all that value just disappears, right? Again, Tesla, the value of Tesla has gone down by 30% since something like January, and that value just disappears. And so the issue that I see is that we have this wannabe big man, right, trying to portray to the world that he's the tough guy. And I think we're just gonna have the rest of the world start to tell us to go fuck ourselves, right? It's one thing to want to leave NATO. It's one thing to say we don't want to fund Ukraine. It's one thing to say we need to have more control over Greenland for defense against somebody. I don't know, because we're not defending against Russia anymore. So I'm not really sure why we need Greenland. We're going to conquer Greenland to defend against China, because it's always China. China's always the boogeyman. Anyways, at what point does the rest of the world just tell us to go fuck ourselves, right? At what point do people start saying Elon Musk is right? People pretending to be good and then doing bad every single day, they should go F themselves. What happens when Canada starts putting export tariffs onto what's coming to the United States? Again, we get oil, we get wood, we get a lot of stuff from Canada. What happens when they get tired of our shit and they say, oh, you want to put a 10% tariff on fuel supplies coming from Canada? Tell you what, Trump. Why don't we just add an additional 10% to that and see how it goes? again, I mean, we hear this from Ford, right? Ford, the number one manufacturer in the United States. They don't know what the hell's going on with tariffs. Tariffs are up, tariffs are down, right? The CEO of Ford says this is complete and utter chaos. They don't know what to do about it. Again, they talk about this with new cars. New cars that are assembled in the United States are now going to start costing $2,000 more because of the taxes that Trump is putting on American citizens to prove that at 80 years old, his penis still works. So, yeah, I don't know. Just watching him and Vance lambast Zelensky was about the most goddamn disgusting thing I've seen since the Biden debate. Biden debate was still pretty bad. I mean, you know, the one thing I've got to say with Trump and Vance is they are in fact alive. Like, maybe you can change their minds. I mean, that's the problem, right? Dead presidents don't learn new tricks. So we had Biden before, and he couldn't fix the problem because he was dead. So maybe Vance and Trump are a little bit better because they're in fact alive. So maybe some of their opinions can change. But yeah, I don't know. Again, you look at it, it is a shit show. Our president is a goddamn disgrace to this fucking country. Right? Trump for fucking treason. How about that? Trump for fucking treason. That sounds really fucking good. I mean, we're a month. Wait, we're a month? A little over a month. No, we're in March now, aren't we? We're a month and a half into his presidency. And again, you look at the tariffs. You look at the layoffs throughout the federal government. You look at so many. Again, it's like, oh, he's not fucking succeeding at shit. He's doing a lot. He is doing a lot. That doesn't mean success. We all remember shock and awe. How many people remember shock and awe? How many people were like, well, I'm not sure how well that'll work, but I guess smart people say shock and awe will work. Whoa. Remember how well shock and awe worked before? Probably not, because nobody talks about Iraq anymore. Anyways, he's just doing a shock and awe thing. And again, also, so he and Musk and all the rich bastards can get a tax break. Again, is there anything more fucking disgusting than the richest fucking man in the world sitting there literally trying to rip the food out of the mouths of poor people? That's gonna be the fucking Trump presidency. That is the Trump presidency. So anyways, yeah, that's my opinion. It's my opinion. Look, you do you. Again, with all of this, look, Harris was a shit. She was just a crap candidate. Again, she was a diversity hire. Literally, she was a fucking diversity hire that said the reason you should vote for her was because of change. And then people asked her, well, what would you change over what Biden did? And she said, no, I agree with everything that Biden did. And you're just like, what? Oh, that doesn't even make any sense. So, you know, I don't know if you're a Trump supporter. I mean, you're no worse than a Harris supporter. It's like, well, this guy is trying to destroy our country by doing this, which is so much worse than how she would have destroyed our country. That's the most fucked up thing. Oh, I hate this timeline. It just gets stupider and stupider. 2028, DeSantis versus AOC. Can we just have that election? Can the baby boomers just get the pillow? Trump for pillow. Just retire. I'm just so fucking tired of all these boomers at this point. Boomers, it stop being funny. Let me be clear, boomers. At 60, you all stop being funny. At 70, you start getting annoyed. At 80, a whole fucking generation of Americans is about to pick up goddamn pillows and be done with this shit. But anyways, what does that mean? I don't know. Pillow. I hope pillow isn't in the blocked words on YouTube. Oh, but yeah. Anyways, so we're still here in Miami. I absolutely love Miami. So yeah, when we get back to Asheville, most likely going to be calling the real estate agent and seeing about selling the house in Asheville. Most likely. Again, we still got another 3 weeks here. Spring break has started. Yeah, you know when not to come to South Beach? During spring break. Oh well. I guess I didn't plan very well. So spring break has officially started. So we're here a week. We have slightly less than 3 more weeks to go. Spring break was started. I don't know. It hasn't been too horrible so far, but definitely a lot of people zooming around in motorcycles and things. We're trying to figure out where we'd want to live here because we like South Beach. Again, we like the beach. So again, when you come to Miami, Miami is a city. Beautiful, beautiful walks along the river and that type of thing, but it doesn't really have the beach. So Miami Beach is an island that's off the coast of Miami. It actually has a beautiful beach, and it has a beautiful walking corridor you go through. So that's why we're looking at here over Miami. If I was on my own, I might probably go to Miami, but again, walking the dog on the beach and all that kind of stuff is absolutely wonderful. So we're trying to figure that out here. Because the nice thing about there's the running trail, so it's over there, and it just goes forever. So like this morning, I did a 10-mile run. I ran from here, and I ran 5 miles down, I came 5 miles back. That was nowhere near the end. So it goes at least 2 miles. So it goes like that way is at least 2 miles, and then that way was 5. So that's at least 7 miles. And I think it all goes about 12 miles or something. So as I try to prepare for a marathon, that's great. I can literally just start at one end of this trail, run all the way to the end, and then run all the way back. And if I have heat stroke or something, I can just call an Uber and go home. That's nice. That's the kind of training I like. So anyways, that's what we're doing here. Beautiful weather, beautiful parks. Again, they got beautiful, like kid park over there. This is just great. If you haven't been, it's so funny when we tell people that we like South Beach, everybody's like, "Oh my God!" They're like always surprised. They don't think we're like South Beach people. And we're like, "What? You don't think we like beautiful parks? And there's a Starbucks, there's cafes, and good food, and a beach walk? Yeah, that's so shocking. Oh my God! Can you believe Eli and his wife like parks and the beach and cafes? I never would have guessed." Yes, I've never gotten bottle service here. And can I be honest with you? I know how to get drunk here. Don't get me wrong, I do know how to get drunk here. I mean, that's pretty easy, right? But I actually don't know where I don't even know where the cool places to go are. I don't know like where the clubs are in South. I don't even know if South Beach has clubs anymore. So yeah, if you haven't thought about South Beach, it's good. And the prices of condos are plummeting. I'm just gonna put this out there. As far as the economy is concerned, every time you look at the rent, if you go to Zillow and you look at the rent of condos, they started here and they went down, and they went down, and they went down, and they went down. Same condo, and the value of the condo is going down. So if my wife and I wait till the summer, literally the cost of our condo might be $1,000 less per month, because, I mean, it's just numbers. All I'm saying is it appears under Trump's presidency that the price that people are willing to pay for condos is going down by a pretty significant degree. I mean, what you want to make of that, that's all up to you. I'm just saying, from my standpoint, it's a little concerning for the economy. But what do I know? I'm just the guy that can actually rent a condo at South Beach. Anywho, that's all I got for you folks. See y'all later.